Good morning, this is Rich Nelson with Allendale. We have a special update for you. Today's date is Tuesday, April 10th of 2018. Now today's date is important because this is the monthly supply-demand report from USDA. And as a reminder, today's numbers are only old crop numbers. USDA will not start issuing new crop on these balance sheets until the May supply-demand report. Now as far as today's numbers, the trade was expecting an increase in corn and soybean stocks, because we learned back on March 29th in that quarterly grain stocks report that USDA found a little more old crop corn and soybeans on hand. Now USDA certainly filled that expectation here today on corn. Old crop corn stocks were raised today from 2.127 billion bushels to 2.182. That was right next to the trade guess of 2.189. USDA did pretty much what you would expect in raising these stocks. They touched the feed residual numbers and left ethanol as well as exports unchanged. So corn, for the most part, neutral with its increase in stocks. Over on soybeans, USDA actually lowered their numbers from 555 million bushels last month to now 550 million bushels. So a slight decline. USDA ended up raising crush a little bit and lowering some of those smaller demand categories a little bit there. Now the trade was expecting an increase on this report to 574 million bushels. So the actual small revision lower in old crop bean stocks may be a small piece of supportive news. Over on the wheat numbers, the USDA raised their ending stock estimate from 1.034 billion bushels to now 1.064. Now this was higher than the trade guess. They were only looking for 1.036. It actually was on Allendale's estimate there. We expected a wheat increase there, and the increase came from feed residual declines as far as the usage. So higher corn stocks, lower soybean stocks, and higher wheat stocks here. Now the only surprise is, as we mentioned, really soybeans with a slight decline in stocks, and also domestic wheat with this increase there. On the road situation, USDA was active in making some changes. As far as corn for Brazil, they lowered the crop from 94.5 to now 92 million tons. That was near the trade expectation. Argentina corn was lowered from 36 million tons to now 33 million tons. That actually was a little lower than the trade expectation. And over on the soybean end of things here, they did raise the Brazil soybean crop from 113 to now 115 million tons. That was expected. The key issue for us on this report was probably watching the Argentine numbers that declined from 47 million tons last month to now 40 million tons this month. Maybe a little more than people were expecting. So USDA was very active on this report. So by the report itself, you can probably suggest maybe a little positive news as far as the soybean side. Over on the corn end of things, you can suggest, the wheat ending stock or the corn ending stock increase on this report was within expectations. And heck, the decline, therefore, some of the South American numbers on corn, maybe you can suggest maybe a mixed viewpoint as far as corn. Over on the wheat end of things here, of course, higher domestic stocks, slightly bearish there. Keep in mind, though, the trade focus right now, and certainly the next few weeks, will be transitioning towards new crop fundamentals. So even if this report was bearish, we'd probably suggest that it would have maybe a minimal impact on prices in the big picture until we see some more new crop information. Any questions on this report, give Allendale a call, 1-800-262-7538.